So many times people, including myself, have given some of the dumbest excuses as to why we can't do something. Maybe they've said, I'm too busy to add that to my life, or maybe I just don't think I can do that. Or possibly you've said, you know what, you can find someone else who can do the job better because I just don't feel qualified. We all think of ourselves in limited terms or abilities at one time or another. We all think that, we're not good enough or we're not qualified enough for something. But when we do this, we're basically shutting down what God wants to accomplish in us. And we see this in the Bible in a few occasions as well. We see Moses even arguing with God in Exodus 4:10 when he told God, but I'm slow of speech and I'm slow of tongue, when God wanted him to talk to the Pharaoh. We also see it in Matthew 14:30 when Peter began walking on the water and sinking. And lastly, we see this with Mary when she said to the angel, how can this be since I do not know a man? Each of them placed limitations on themselves when God was trying to work in their lives. Even the man at the pool of Bethesda had placed a limitation on his healing when he told Jesus, Sir, I have no one to put me into the pool when the water is stirred up. We're all guilty of placing limitations on our lives and our abilities. The problem is that if we let our limitations define our expectations, then we're placing a roadblock in the things that God wants to do in our lives. We're telling God, you have the wrong person for the job. And so you're wrong, God. But God's never wrong. God never calls the most perfect or the most qualified or the most eloquent person to do the job. But he does call those that he equips for the job. And how do we know this? Because the Bible tells us, for with God nothing will be impossible. It also tells us, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. We all go through times when we place limitations on some aspect of our lives. The problem is they're just distorted material senses of things, and they're not the reality established by God. His will for us is only good. And he supplies us with all the intelligence and discernment that we need. There are no limitations to the divine mind of God as he is impelling each of us to express him in a valuable and individual way. So do not let your issues define who you are, or let you limit your expectations, because God wants to do some amazing things in your life. So don't limit him. Let him do what he wants to do in your life.